Hello everyone, it's Jackie back again, and we're going to attempt to journal with me today. Oh, excuse me. First of all, I'm just going to show you how I finished off this page. I think we left it more or less like this, except that I didn't have any writing, so I've added my journaling. I did a bit of doodling, which I sort of regret, but it's okay. I didn't like it at all at first, and then when I came back to it a little bit later, I thought it was okay. But the page didn't really need it. I'd seen it somewhere and I thought, oh, that looks great. But I might practice a bit more. And then I thought I needed some green, so luckily I'd got another bit of this paper which I'd already cut down for another journal, actually, a 6x4 journal. Anyway, I've sacrificed that. I also wanted, this is my mother as a child, I wanted a picture of her as she is now. So all I did was cut roughly 6x4 journal card. This is my mum with her sister, and I think you can hopefully see the likeness there. I did some more journaling on the back of that, popped that in there with just enough picture showing so that there's something to look at, and that to me finished off that page beautifully. So today we're going to go back, we're going to work as best I can chronologically through this journal, not date wise particularly, but through the pages. And today I wanted to journal this concert that my husband and I went to with my son and his partner and her parents. He's an American blues singer, so some of you might know him. I don't know. It was a fairly small gig that we went to, but it was really rather wonderful. And the gentleman, Doug MacLeod, was a proper storyteller, both in his songs and in his chatting, between his numbers. And he said something which has stayed with me since, really, and this is going back a couple of months now, which I will come to. Anyway, obviously this is the only thing I've got from that night, which is the flyer that was on the tables, which is actually advertising a little biography. So clearly you could stick that on the page as it is, journal around it, put some coloured paper under it, make it really pretty. Sorry, I'm going to do a bit of chatting. I hope you don't mind. But I want to make this journal a bit more arty if I can. So I tore it in half, and then I was fiddling about with how to do it. Do I use 2 pages? Do I do it on 1 page? How am I going to make this work? That didn't look anything to me, so I got rid of this bit, and I thought, okay, well that's looking better. I could dress that up, but I really want his name on there, and to be honest I was a bit stuck. So when that happens, I go back to prompts, I suppose you might say. So at the moment I belong to a Facebook group run by Margaret Miller. Marguerite Miller, and it's vintage glue book pages, and she sets up prompts every week, and they're marvellous. I don't use them exactly as is, but I looked at, sorry, I've printed them off. I looked at week 1 and 2, and we've got something round, a paint chip, a postage stamp, a piece of map, anything from a grocery store. Sorry, I'll put Marguerite's link below as well, so you can go and have a look. And then I looked at 2, and I've got a person, image from a magazine, something that came in the mail, a piece of washi tape, a tea bag cover. Well, I've got a person, it's sort of like a magazine, and I want something behind this to make it interesting. And when it said something in the, so basically I've combined 1 and 2. So when it said something in the mail, as you've probably seen, I had some happy mail from Joyce this week, and in it was this music, I think it's wallpaper. Anyway, you can see how beautifully it goes with this page. So my idea is to tear this down, have it on the page with this, and I'm going to add a bit of colour. I haven't got any washi tape that coordinates with this, but I've got scrapbook paper which I can take a strip off and use. This scrapbook paper is from the Prima Lavender, also coordinates with the opposite page that I'm going to do this spread on. I've said that I want his name. I haven't got a tea bag, but I've cut a circle, so this will probably go something like this. An illustration was in there, and I happened to have this sitting on my desk. It wasn't cut out, it was a practice stamp for a recent journal, just on a bit of scrap paper, so I've cut that out, and I might add it because it's floral, and we'll see where we go from there. So I'm going to start putting that together in a few moments, but the other thing I wanted to also talk about was collage and another artist who I've used a lot really over the years and admire, and that's Kelly Kilmer, and I'll put her link below as well. And I started taking her online courses some years ago. Hopefully I'm not running out of time now. And these are the books I made from her courses. And she, at that time, did a lot of collage. And she set up, she gave, in her courses, she gave you templates. So you can see scraps of paper with a focal point, basically. So I've used some of these, but these are mostly practice, and I don't know if I've showed these before in videos, but anyway, I love these books and I love the things I've written in them, and I would never get rid of them. This, for example, is a page that's really important to me. I've got 2 of these. This is the other one. Quite thick pages. They're made with really good quality paper that you then glue over. But you can see where I'm coming from with it. And what I think I'm trying to say is that these designs I can always go back to. This is another page that I would always want to keep. It's quite personal to me. But these designs I can always go back to and use as examples. So if you find collages that you like, do a sketch of them and see if you can come up with a variation on that collage. I think I've talked enough, so let's do a bit of tearing. And just see how this page is going to pan out. Just take the top off there. So we would have something like that. Mr. McCloud here. I'm probably going to cut this maybe to go this side. I'm going to pretend like it's washi tape. Just have a thin strip of it, which I think I will put down here. And then fiddle about with these things. I may not use that actually, now I come to think about it. It is a process. This is very much a process. And the bit that it's hard for me to film anyway because I haven't got the time really on my camera. I could have that on there, maybe that, and then I can journal down here. This gentleman, one of the things he said during his spiel, his chat, as I say, resonated with me. And basically what he said, I can't remember the exact words, but basically what he said is, before you get up in the morning, lie in bed and put your sense of humour on. Before you put your clothes on, put your sense of humour on. And I just thought that was really, really great. And it's what I'm trying to do every day through quite a difficult time. So anyway, I'm going to leave it here. Oh no, I'm not. Sorry. One quick thing. I have a love of hydrangeas, and this year I got my first hydrangeas. And I want to write about that. So this is from a colouring book. I've just cut it out. Even though I want to go chronologically through my book, I've found this sprayed inked paper that this goes beautifully on. So I'm going to glue that on that page and write about my hydrangeas here. So that will be another very simple, very pretty page. Thank you very much for watching. I'll get on with these and maybe come back and show you a bit more, or maybe we'll move on. Thank you.